Acolytes. Is this the average male fantasy from Shonehead? I actually just seen this. Normally, I would do the recommendation of my acolytes, or most of the time, because yes, by the way, it's not always the same two things. Some recommendation come from Twitter, some from my Discord, so that's that. But let's see what this is all about.
Men. What do they want? Money, status, fast, expensive cars?
Nope.
What is the ultimate male fantasy?
A good woman. Yeah. If you're a straight man, if you're a gay man, a good fuckboy.
Is it fame, fortune, 3 hot chicks at once? Hell yeah, brother. No, according to men on the internet, it's something a little more simple.
Hell yeah.
This is literally just a fetish.
F you for that. Literally, you have something so wholesome. Somebody who protects his woman, just gives her everything he can just to make her happy, fulfills his fucking male role to make your woman happy, defend her. She just gives him love and compassion back, and that's all we want. F everyone that actually thinks something different, acolytes. Just get them in the freaking skeleton pit and let them get stabbed to death by freaking rib bones. I like that anime, by the way. So.
I fucking hate men so much. Men are why we can't have nice things. As I was working on an upcoming video, I made the terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter, where I saw this post. A montage from the anime Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, a movie about a college student who's assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl, and spoiler, eventually they fall in love. Many men were yearn posting in the replies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this, while many others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty
You know why? Because or women that are this toxic, just, you know, the liberals, they think, those fucking Karens think, that they are worth more than the paralytic girl. That they are a higher status of them. Fuck every single one of them. I don't care. Pin them on a tree. Just get the fuck out. It's not... Men are way less... men look way less on the correct... how is it called? Sorry. The looks of the woman than you think. Yes, we are naturally binded to this, that we are more visual creatures. But at the end of the day, if a woman acts like a woman, is compassionate and actually takes care of us to a certain degree, we will effing die for them. And that's just a fucking fact, and none of those effed up little toxic Karens will ever understand that, because they just went out, just looked to be freaking rammed through every single hole that they have at the same time, instead of looking for a freaking guy that would actually conquer the world for her. And I hope they die in misery.
creepy and predatory, right? Also just unrealistic and problematic. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as to why. We are also going to be reading some absolutely unhinged tweets, as usual, to get to the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing, never-ending gender war. Men versus women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps. Do men prefer thin women or curvy women? Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean-shaven? Oh yeah, That reminds me. Let's quickly get into today's sponsor, Henson Shaving.
Of course.
You ever just accept
I
that
have
some
those.
products are just
Henson Shaving
garbage?
is actually fucking based. I love this shade. I love this. This is one of the best investments I did in a fucking long time, Acolytes. And I am very stingy if it comes to actually investing in something a bit, and it's not even that much more expensive. And by the way, while shaving, Acolytes, yes, because under this mask there is a hairy dude with the fucking 3 hairs that I have, Acolytes. This is good. You just have to always get the original mesa knives, the sharp thingies. And then just go ahead. You have to still learn it, because it's a bit more dangerous than the normal shaving thingy-bob at the end of the day. I mean, the first few times I cut myself a few times, but all in all, way better than the normal things. Way better. It's just not even comparable. Not even close. So this thing specifically,
blades, compared to the ongoing cost of buying expensive plastic cartridges.
Yep.
Henson's store offers a variety of colors and even a titanium version, so you can pick the razor that best fits your style. So if you're tired of razor burn and overpaying for blades, now is the perfect time to make the switch. Just head over to hensonshaving.com/shoe and add both a
and by the way, this is literally just a bit metal and then just get it. You can even use it as a blunt weapon if you need to. It's not heavy, but it will do at some point.
Sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. You didn't skip the ad, right? Now let's get back to the video. Now, I am not an anime connoisseur. In fact, I basically know nothing about anime. I am probably the most tourist of all the tourists. Yeah, hi. I have a question. Was the upskirt shot necessary in order to advance the plot? I watched Pokemon and Sailor Moon when I was a kid, and a few years ago I watched Beastars on Netflix. Legoshi, best boy. Not a furry, by the way. And honestly, that's about it for my anime consumption. Unless you're counting VTubers. If you're counting VTubers, I watch a lot of anime. But because of this clip going viral, I watched...
By the way, technically, I would say that most VTubers actually give the same vibe out as anime. Or manga, even. That's actually quite outstanding. The more I watch them, the more I actually see that those freaking coconut enjoyers actually do a really good job in really entertaining and giving the vibes. Insane.
Josie the Tiger and the Fish, and, well, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it. I thought it was a really cute, good story. I only cried a little bit. And I completely understood what the tweet meant by calling it the average male fantasy. So, what was wrong with it? Why did this clip go so viral in such a negative way? Why were thousands of people angry at this post? Well, let us dilly-dally no...
Because those Karens won't effing ever get a situation like this and find happiness.
Longer and read some of these angry replies to get a better understanding of what the issue is, shall we? Wholesome male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control. Oh no. They think, oh god, why? Always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. Pretty perverted. Where are these fan fictions coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see a cute montage of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of. Why did they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions? Like, as someone who actually watched the movie, Josie is not always happy. And she's absolutely not portrayed as some, like, vulnerable, ooh-woo, sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong. She like straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed.
She does.
She basically never left her house. She was basically a girl failure. As a former girl failure, I love to see representation in media. But they actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike a lot of movies, unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky, cute female lead, he's already got his shit together. And she learns to live life from him. He encourages her to live her dreams. And in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way. And I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime this entire time?
Yes.
His fantasy is that she
Yes, you've been. Anime is good. Yeah, you have to freaking, fan service a lot. And sometimes it's overdone. And it's a cringe fest. And it's really not too sexy in my opinion. But that's anime, that's fine, that's their humor. And anime is good, it can be very good even. For F's sake. I mean, the last thing I fell for or watched was Falling to the Abyss. Yeah, what was it this? Wait, give me a second. Fall in the Abyss. Was it this? No, not Fall into the Abyss. Go into the Abyss. For fuck's sake, how is it? What the F? Acolytes, give me a second. Manga. Made in Abyss. Now, okay. This shade, for fuck's sake, I didn't expect that it's even halfway decent. And yet, this thing, this cutesy looking thing, is one of the most brutal, unforgiving, and realistic thing, one of the best animes, mangas ever, and at some point I'm gonna read it.
becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him, but can still make him a sandwich. Sounds about right. Oh my god, after watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just seeing that like cute montage out of context, where the fuck are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was the average male fantasy, their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this.
Yes.
The problem is these people can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average
Correctly.
male.
And by the way, we have to do the same to them. At this point, it's just pure self-defense. There isn't any, second thinking about it. Just go way more aggressive in than they do.
Fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it. Not to be that guy, I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist? The implication here that people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them because they can't run away. Weird. Average men can't even be nice to their healthy and normal girlfriend. What makes you think they'll be able to handle a disabled person as their lover? Whoa. Normal?
Oh.
What do you mean by normal? These people are just so ableist, chat. Can you believe it? Chat? I don't even live stream. Who's chat?
Yeah.
I'm disabled, blind.
Yeah.
So I showed this to my boyfriend. He says, I love you because you're you, and you make my days happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help you with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway. Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you. Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but, your boyfriend is a rapist. Sorry you had to find out this way. You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people. No, the fantasy is the woman appreciates his efforts to make her happy. Stop lying and abusing women and the disabled. Your meds, schizo. You don't even know that f***ing guy. What do you mean stop abusing women and the disabled? Bitch, who are you? Also, the majority of men participate in abuse of disabled people Are you okay? The majority
are
of
not.
men are not abusers. That is a very, very small minority of men. The majority of men are men that just wake up, take a shit, get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, come home, and wait for GTA 6 to come out. That is the majority of.
Yep. And yes, this is the thing. Just because those fucked up Karens go for the men that actually will abuse them and then repeat that 50 fucking times doesn't mean that every single one of us is effing this bad. Just go for normal guys, for fuck's sake. It's just... Are you... They aren't intelligent. Let's just say it like this.
Men.
Correct.
Men commit 95% of all rape, but okay. Barging into the romance
No,
section of
and
Barnes
that's
and
also-
Noble like, attention everyone! Rape! Where is that coming from? So close, this is fetish content. Ah yes, the dirtiest, most taboo of all fetishes. A happy relationship. Honestly, in 2025, that might be true. Oh, you want a wife and kids? You sick fuck. But this
Yep.
is literally just a perverted fantasy, LMAO. You think it's a perverted fantasy because... How do I put this nicely? You are a pervert. Literally seeing a cute montage of a male and female
Because they won't
character
ever get
having
it.
fun together, being in love together, and being like, rape! He's a rapist! This is a fetish! Are these people okay? Stop watching porn! Wait, this is a woman. Okay, stop reading Taken by the Werewolf Billionaire. Or whatever the fuck you read. I swear to God, some of the shit women read would make the most depraved internet gooner blush.
Oh.
Or so I've been told. This is literally just a fetish. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's nobody out there who's like, she can't run away, she has no legs. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend there's nobody out there who has a crippled, disabled fetish, okay? I've been
She has no like that. Oh.
on the internet for 20 years. I've been on DeviantArt. I've seen shit you wouldn't believe. But the majority of people, probably most, if not all the people responding to this, do not have a cripple fetish, okay? In fact, her being in a wheelchair basically has nothing to do with it. Much like how females coom over, like, vampires or, like I said before, the billionaire werewolf fantasy. This is just the average male fantasy distilled down to its most extreme. So what is the average male fantasy? The average male fantasy is the fantasy of both men and women alike. It is simply to love and to be loved. But more specifically, the male fantasy is to be a protector and a provider for those that they love. Put a pin in this because we are going to come back to this in a big way, trust me. The average male fantasy is being a globally known terrorist. The average male fantasy is that a woman who isn't fat. The average male fantasy is actually job security. You know what? These guys may have a point here. Pedophile alert. Men want disabled child wives. Average male fantasy is a disabled child. More proof that men are pedos. That's a little girl. This is weird. So, first of all, she's literally older than the guy. The guy is 22 and she is 24. In anime years, he is practically hag-maxing. And yes, she may be physically disabled, but aren't all men mentally disabled in their own special way? At least the ones in my audience.
Yep.
They will freely admit this. Maybe she, the older woman, is taking advantage of this sensitive young man. Have you ever thought of that? She looks like an 11-year-old child. Where are her breasts? First of all, really weird way to say that. She looks like a child. Show me her titties. Also, I love how, like, when anime women have huge boobs, it's disgusting, Coomer porn brain or whatever. But if the anime woman has small boobs, she is a child and you're a chimo. Can't fucking win. Also, if she had
Correctly.
big boobs, they'd absolutely be like, wow, look at this sexualization of the disabled. Also, you know, like, adult women can be flat-chested, right? Like, that actually exists in real life. Like, adult human women can have small boobs. We love all titties here on the Shoe on Head channel. All titties is good titties. End of story. Women fantasy. A boyfriend...
I agree. And I will say, Acolytes, the Smiling Lich also supports every single breast that exists on this world. I will accept and be there and love it as I do.
With depth and the loving, soft, deeply caring side of them. Men's fantasy. 12-year-old anime girl who looks and speaks like a toddler. Also notice how she's literally the shape and size of a child. Yuck. Have you people ever seen a child? No. You're all childless.
I think this is good. If they attack anime because it looks like a child, quote unquote, this is the best thing ever to happen to us. Acolytes, this is beautiful. Those accusations will die out with those fucking Karens. Because nobody wants to fucking agree with those freaks to any kind of measure. So, yeah, in the long run, this is good. I like this. This is on point. This is something we should actually thank them for. Why? Everything they will touch becomes automatically a freak statement, and everybody will have way more empathy towards that. Yes.
Silly me. She's not even that short. She's just sitting. See, like when they're laying side by side, she's like a full-grown adult woman. Why do these people look at this and immediately think of child rape? Go to therapy. And listen, I know with anime it can get a little weird, right? Like, excuse me, Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan is 2,000 years old and this is Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan. But this does not even look like a child. This looks like a cute woman. This is like a random rant, but I feel like there are no more cute women nowadays. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You have all like the Insta baddies, the E-thots, the E-girls, the muscle mommies, the boss babes, the boy babes. But I feel like every woman is just hot now. Which, by the way, I don't think is healthy for the male psyche whatsoever. You shouldn't wake up and be able to scroll through pictures of, like, the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life, like, 20 times before you've had, like, your morning cup of coffee. You shouldn't log in and immediately be one-shotted by 1010s all day, as if that wouldn't make you go insane, as if that wouldn't make you crash out. Like, back in the day, you'd probably see, like, one fine dame on your bus ride to work, and you'd think about her for 40 years until the day you die. That's how it used to be. That's how it should be. Now every woman is like a crazy, hot, unobtainable Instagram goddess with the fattest of ass. Zoomers don't know how good we had it. You'd go to Blockbuster, and the 21-year-old cashier behind the counter would be the most adorable woman you've ever seen. No Botox.
That's true. Damn. Acolytes, that's on point. Yes. And you know what? You would be just happy talking to them. It's that simple. I just cannot understand for the life of me how the fuck women just don't get this. Men are so simple. Literally, if you want to make your man happy for a few hours, give them a sandwich and get the fuck out for 4 hours. And don't make the bullshit with, yeah, I'm gonna call him and then be there. No, just get the fuck out. Let him be for a few hours and then come back. You will see that the motherfucker is 20 times happier and will fucking load every single happiness Iona on you. Yeah, that's how this works.
No lip filler, just a pure soul, full of joy and whimsy. And now women are full of hate and SSRIs. But they're hot. They're hotter than they've ever been. They're hotter and more depressed than they've ever been in history. Sad. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, anime. I didn't take my Vyvanse today, could you tell? Men's fantasy. A big titty woman with the face of a 16-year-old that is useful for cooking, cleaning, and sex. Women's fantasy. Gets treated like a queen and a man who keeps tracks of our periods so he can take care of us. I think I speak for a lot of women here when I say our fantasies do not, in fact, include men tracking our periods. Personally, if my husband was like, honey, just a reminder you're in your luteal phase, I'm taking the kids. Men like to pretend they...
Yep. By the way, men actually remember it because they remember when the fucking last time you were like a witch. So there's that. Alright, they wanted to just give you a broom and say, yeah, there, fly out, please. Go do groceries with that thing and
they
come
want
back
this, and then they beat their wife when dinner isn't ready or their son when he's misbehaving. First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. But there are in fact good men out there. I've seen them. Some may be in this very audience. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. This is the shoe on head audience. You're all gremlins. Male fantasy equals a woman that can't run away from him. A woman that's dependent on him. Interesting. When men are involved, it's basic survival instinct to assume the worst. Men are guilty until they prove themselves innocent. You know what? I take my opinions back on free speech. I changed my mind. No more free speech. No more free speech until you bitches learn to behave. A woman's fantasy is a man who won't rape her, and a man's fantasy is raping a woman. I'm sorry, where is the rape, ma'am? Maybe that's how you see it, because you're brainwashed to hate men. So true. Yep. I hate how... But in reality, women are the real demons here. Oh, goddamn it.
For fuck's sake.
We just want a happy relationship. Is it so much to ask for? Yes. Yes, it is.
For you, yes.
Oh, look, more misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men. This is why 70% of anime is garbage. So, here's the thing, that, misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men was actually written by Saiko Tanabe, a woman. A woman wrote this story. And I feel like a very important detail everyone is sleeping on when they covered this was the fact that this is very much the female fantasy as well. A man loving you for who you are despite your flaws, literally sweeping you off your feet and carrying you around on adventures, helping you live out your dreams, face your fears, and supporting you through the good and bad times. You're going to sit here and tell me that's not the female fantasy too? Is this not the basic female fantasy? Is this not the knight in shining armor coming to rescue you and falling in love with you? Why on earth are so many women so mad at this? Are men now the hopeless romantics? Are men now the ones yearning for a fairy tale romance? Is this why all the Disney remakes are like, she's not gonna be saved by the prince, she's a strong, independent woman? Meanwhile, men still want to be the prince, men still want to be the knight in shining armor. Men are like, I will save you from your monotonous 9-to-5 job. I will give you a house and babies. And women are like, no, I must be an actuarial consultant. Be gone, vile misogynist. Is that what is occurring here? Also, that aside, there literally is a gender-swapped version of this story called Perfect World. It is a manga. Mango?
Mango, yeah, fair enough.
Do not come for me, weebs. Men will statistically leave their wives and partners the moment they find out they're disabled or have a life-threatening condition. You're right, it is a fantasy. Actually, that study was debunked by the authors themselves, who admitted they did the math wrong. It's actually not much higher, but then again, even if it was, and it happens, I've seen it happen to people, it's terrible. Marriage should be through sickness and through health.
Correctly,
but that's not really the point here. And the fact that so many people are focusing on the wheelchair part of this just proves that they just don't get it. The ones of pure mind and pure soul get it. But these f***ing semen demons out here, they don't get it. But not all semen demons. The amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Ah, thank you, a sane person. Hopefully the replies aren't full of people calling her a pick-me. Pick-me alert, least obvious pick-me. Me, pick me please. Hope he picks you, sis. Pick me. An incel could have written this. Fuck. Why are so many VTubers either pick-me's or racist? You mean why do so many female VTubers disagree with you? Why so many aren't towing the mainstream liberal feminist NPC line? Because they can. See, the most...
And because they have a personality.
Powerful weapon women have against other women is social ostracization. You don't want to be seen as a pick-me or a racist, so you keep your mouth shut in order to survive in female social circles. But in the cases of VTubers, virtual YouTubers, they're basically anonymous. They can say anything they want. They're basically wearing a mask. They're free from the chains of the eternal HR longhouse. But apparently, even being anonymous online does not save them, because they still get doxxed for simply not hating men. Lovely. Maybe I should save this rant for a different video someday. Moving on. Men are why we can't have nice things, by the way. First of all, men make all the things. Thank you. Also, I just realized it was a man saying that. It was a whole-ass man saying men are why we can't have nice things. I don't deserve this trophy. This is for you, sir. This is for you. I'm not worthy. Listen, I make women jokes. I'm very critical of feminism and propaganda aimed at women. But you will never catch me in a million years saying some like women are why we can't have nice things. I have a mom. I have female family members. I have female friends. Maybe one day I'll have a daughter. Women make the world a beautiful place and, like men, can be flawed and deserve criticism like anyone else. But there is something genuinely so cucked about people.
Every normal human being makes mistakes. Every normal human being, or human being in general, deserves some criticism at some point in their life. That's fine. Just go with it. Accept the criticism and become a better human being because of it. Acolytes, for fuck's sake. And even in undeath, you can still improve. Just accept that you're flawed, that you need me as a morality leader, a moral leader, a superior, and just go with my flow. Simple as that.
People who put down their own gender or race. Oh god, race. Self-hating white people. Don't get me started on self-hating white people. White people are so evil. I hate being white. White people can't dance. White people food is so gross. You're not getting into Wakanda, bro.
Fuck you.
You're not getting invited to the cookout. Enough.
Fuck you. Polish dishes, freaking best in the world. Prove me wrong.
But yeah, women were not the only ones who had a problem with this. There were a lot of men who didn't quite relate to this being the average male fantasy.
It's fine to love the disabled. I didn't need to remind you that. But to glorify it? This anime is certainly Marxist propaganda. The movie is about him taking a job as her caretaker, and when he learns of her dreams, he makes it his mission to help her dreams come true. So it is Marxist propaganda to help a disabled person pursue their dreams? Yeah, it's woven in. Empathy is the target of propaganda.
Marxism is when girl in wheelchair. I love this. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Every piece of media that makes you feel empathy is communism. Political brain rot. If you're at the point where you see this and you're thinking of communism, you need to log off. You are unwell.
I'm sorry, but when I reproduce, I don't want a high probability of my offspring being mentally or physically retarded. We need a better class of incels whose bar is higher than the retarded.
She's not retarded, she has a spinal injury that's not genetic. Also, what is this LARP? I love how everyone is just kind of having like a normal conversation about this clip, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, I would never put my pure white seed in such a vile creature. Like, you absolutely know this guy has a non-white girlfriend. They all do, all these like, I hate white people women always have white boyfriends. All these, I hate non-white people boys always have non-white girlfriends. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it too many times. I guarantee you when this man logs off of his Black Sun Roman statue Twitter account, he's clapping Latina booty cheeks.
My fantasy is not being a simp, but okay.
Fellas, is it simping to love a woman?
Nah, this is not the male fantasy. That man is a beta male. If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would leave him for Chad.
Fellas, is it beta to love a woman?
This is not my fantasy. This is some gay shit, to be honest.
Fellas, is it gay to love a woman?
What no pussy does to a mother.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Brother, I've...
The fucking male freaks rise also for We just... Can you fuckers just get the F out here? We already have to deal with Karen freaks. Now there are some fucking male Karen freaks spilling out. We also have to stop those. Just let the normal human beings in, and the rest, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you heard that crashing sound.
I've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker, and it's far worse.
The average male fantasy is taking care of their crippled wife. I don't think I've ever had that fantasy before. I thought it was gonna be about going on some quest to kill the dragon to win the princess or something.
It is. That is the average male fantasy. But there are no dragons to slay. There are no princesses to save. But there is that little old lady in the grocery store who can't quite reach that top shelf. There's that heavy box the pretty girl you work with can't quite lift herself. There's that jar of tomato sauce your wife can't quite open. There's that Lego set your little son can't quite put together himself. Or there is this paraplegic girl who wants to see the ocean. This is the Princess and the Dragon story. And despite what many are told, men do have a lot of love to give. And they want some kind of excuse or mechanism to show that love.
Yes.
In a world where men expressing themselves is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of expressing that love is solving problems. Men fucking love solving problems. I don't know what it is. They also love reading Wikipedia articles. The amount of times I walked over and my husband is reading a random fucking Wikipedia article about like the world's tallest buildings or like a random battle in World War II. I didn't know if this was autism or what, but apparently it's a man thing. Anyway, yes, men love solving problems. And in a world that makes them feel useless, makes them feel like they have no purpose, men desperately feel like they need to prove their worth. They are desperately looking for a purpose in life. So it is not at all shocking to me that the modern young man is seeing a clip like this and longing for this. A lot of modern men don't have a chance to prove themselves, to make something of their lives. They don't have a chance to provide anything for anyone because they don't have anything to provide and they don't have anyone. They are doing everything their grandfathers did, but seeing none of the results. They're lost. What can they provide? And as I said earlier, her being in a wheelchair is the protector and provider instinct taken to a extreme. And yes, it is a fantasy, considering if you ask anyone who's actually in a wheelchair, they know it's not all butterflies and rainbows, and they know that it's hard on relationships. It can be difficult on their partner. But just like in the movie, it's not shown as butterflies and rainbows. Josie feels like a burden. But towards the end of the movie, the guy takes on that burden. Not
Yes.
because he gets something in return, but because it's his duty. Because it makes her happy, which makes him happy in return. Loyalty, duty, virtue, acts of service, big or small. Men live for that shit. And yes, these are stereotypes. Not everyone fits into these boxes, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, it's true. When many men look at this relationship, that is what they see. And a lot of modern women are looking at this relationship and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the strong, independent woman they've been sold. They've been told they need to be. The modern woman crafted by modern Disney for modern audiences. Unlike the Hollywood-crafted modern woman, this woman does need her man. She is not strong and she's not independent, at least physically. This doesn't mean she's like an empty vessel with no thoughts or freedom. No, in fact, in the movie, Josie does roll away from him a few times. It is a fantasy not because of a power imbalance, but because the man has a tangible purpose, and the woman is willingly and lovingly letting him fulfill that purpose.
Because I can depend on you. I know that if I ever feel frightened, I can just reach out to you.
Men simply want something good to die for, to make it beautiful to live. This manifests in a lot of ways, but the most common is having a loving partner and or a family. Something unobtainable to many people nowadays.
Yep.
So yes, literally one of the most normal things ever is becoming a fantasy. Sad. Also, men will deny this, but they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making you pancakes with your wife in the morning, and you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And that is the male biological clock. Everything you do, the money you make working that grating 9-to-5 job, it will all be for something bigger and more important than yourself one day. You will come home to a warm and happy home, greeted by people who care about you, and love you, and rely on you, and everything will make sense then. Until then, you'll just be on the internet, being called a misogynist, for wanting something bigger and more important than yourself, for wanting something beautiful and normal. And that is the average male fantasy. That and three hot chicks at once. Hell yeah, brother! Haha, you know what I'm saying? So that—
Why the fuck? Why this photo, for fuck's sake? Those Botox lips.
Haha, you know what I'm saying? So that was that little video. Men in the comments, let me know. Am I correct? Is that the average male fantasy?
Yes, you're on point. Sean had, as always, on point. She actually just understands. Well, for the most part, at least, the male mindset. She just informed herself, and it's not really something that you actually need a high degree of awareness to understand. It's just, look at every fucking man in your life. And except for those extremely toxic that are actually toxic. Yeah. Every single one will want to protect and provide for you. It's just that simple. But, as it is, acolytes, good night.